Good morning. Welcome to AUTV Live in Techimam. My name is Kwesi and Agyekum. The news at 6. The headlines: chaos erupts in Parliament as minority storm center of floor over Pandai seat controversy. We won't be distracted. Ayaraga to minority amid Pandai protest. Parliament approves budget allocations despite minorities' chaotic scenes over Pandai dispute. Mahama urges global manufacturing firms to invest in Ghana. BOG pumps $10 billion to Forex Bureau market to aid cedi's stability. New mpox strain identified in England. The details. Parliament was thrown into chaos on Tuesday after the minority caucus stormed the center of the chamber in protest, forcing proceedings to halt. The disturbances broke out during heated exchanges over the declaration of the Pandai parliamentary seat as vacant, a decision the minority says is unlawful and procedurally wrong. Before the clash, Majority Leader Mahama Ayaraga condemned what he called the minority's orchestrated attempts to disrupt parliamentary business. He insisted the majority would not be distracted, accusing the minority of derailing the House through noise-making and disorder. But the minority chief whip, Frank Anodompe, countered strongly, warning that government business will suffer until the Pandai matter is received. Moments later, the minority abandoned the seats, massed in the center of the chamber, and chanted in protest. MPs from both sides rushed to the floor, triggering a brief scuffle. Parliamentary marshals intervened as tempers fled, and voices rose sharply. The Speaker was forced to suspend proceedings as the chamber descended into confusion. The clashes highlight intensified tensions between the two sides following a Tamale High Court ordering a rerun of the Pandai Parliament election.
To second the motion, and doing so, present your committee's budget report. Mr. Speaker, I urge the Hamza department.
Both the minority and the majority MPs pushing and pulling each other. There's a scaffold that is breaking on the floor now of Parliament as we speak. Both the majority and the minority MPs now pushing and pulling each other on the center of Parliament, and it's unclear how the marshals will resolve this, but you see the marshals there now standing watching what is happening. And for those who just watching, the minority MPs proceeded from their seats. They moved from their seats to the center of the floor in an attempt to distract the happenings. You see the majority MPs shouting push as they push the minority MPs to go back to their seats now. It's a scaffold that has broken between the two sides of the House. The members of Parliament from both sides pushing and pulling each other as the minority move from their seats.
In Parliament, Majority Leader Mahama Ayaraga expressed that he was not surprised by the minority's protests, describing their actions as attempts to derail parliamentary business over the contested Pandai constituency seat. Ayaraga criticized the minority of blocking the Speaker and creating disruptions, insisting the ruling party will continue its work.
That we should not be transparent about our arguments, that this side of the House should not be heard on this matter. And I have said it's not possible. No matter how much you chant, no matter how much noise you make. In fact, even if you come and stand on my seat here, I will still state my position so that the Speaker can give his ruling. So, Mr. Speaker, the issue before you is not to challenge your ruling. It is not to challenge your ruling, because your ruling was not even about what happens when one files an appeal. Your ruling was whether or not within the 7 days you could be called upon to remove the Member of Parliament from the chamber. If you recall, that was the main issue.
In response, Minority Chief Whip Frank Arnaud-Dompré declared that government business would remain stalled until the Kwandai issue is resolved. Despite the uproar, the Speaker allowed proceedings to continue, urging that all sides be heard and parliamentary work carried on. Now, Parliament has approved key reports on allocations in the 2026 budget, despite earlier chaotic scenes triggered by the minorities' protest over the declaration of the Kwandai seat as vacant. Tensions peaked when minority MPs abandoned their seats and moved to the center of the chamber, chanting and disrupting proceedings. The confrontation led to shouting between both sides and forced parliamentary marshals to intervene. Despite the disorder, the majority pushed through the adoption of the budget allocation report, a crucial step in the approval of the 2026 fiscal policy. The minority maintains that government business will continue to face resistance until the Kwandai issue is fully resolved, insisting the Speaker acted improperly by notifying the Electoral Commission while appeals remain before the court. After the controversial approval, the Speaker adjourned the House, ending a dramatic sitting marked by protests and heated exchanges. President John Dramani Mahama is urging international vaccine manufacturers to partner with Ghana in establishing a local vaccine manufacturing hub, a strategic move aimed at strengthening both national and continental health security. Speaking at the WHX Leaders Conference, he emphasized Africans' vulnerabilities during the COVID-19 pandemic, citing the continent's heavy reliance on imported vaccines. The proposed hub is expected to boost Ghana's local production capacity and improve readiness for future health emergencies. Minister for Trade, Elizabeth Fosuo-Jare, noted that collaboration with the African Continent Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, will ensure smooth trade for local produced vaccines across Africa. Conference participants highlighted the importance of such platforms in fostering innovation, collaboration, and resilient health systems across the continent. The Bank of Ghana has injected approximately $10 billion into the forex market since January 2025 to meet dollar demand and support the stability of the cedi. The interventions, funded largely through gains from the domestic gold purchase program, have helped the local currency achieve a 32.2% year-to-date appreciation against the dollar by October. Officials stress that these measures are part of a broader market support strategy and have not depleted Ghana's international revenues, which rose from $9.1 billion in December 2024 to over $11.4 billion by October 2025. The central bank recently introduced a new foreign exchange operations framework to guide market interventions, emphasizing transparency, The central bank recently introduced a new foreign exchange operations framework to guide market interventions, emphasizing transparency, reserve accumulation, and orderly FX flows without targeting specific exchange rate levels. The foreign front, UK health officials have identified a new strain of mpox, previously called moneypox, in a traveler returned from Asia. The virus combines elements of two major strains, clade IB and clade IB, and is full of significance still being assessed. Authorities stress that vaccination remains the best protection against severe disease in the UK. In the UK, vaccines are available for those at high risk, including people with multiple sexual partners or who visit sex or premises venues. Current vaccines are 75 to 80% effective, and experts believe they will likely protect against the new strain. With nearly 48,000 confirmed cases globally in 2025, mostly in Central Africa, experts warn that ongoing circulation increases the changes of the virus involving further. Health officials encourage anyone who suspects mpox infection to contact NHS 111 for guidance. Before we go to the top stories again. Chaos erupts in Parliament as minority storms center of floor over Pandai seat controversy. We won't be distracted. A year ago to minority amid Pandai protest. Parliament approves budget allocations despite minorities' chaos, it seems. Mahama urges global manufacturing firms to invest in Ghana. BOG pumps $10 billion into forex market to aid city's stability. New mpox strain identified in England. That ends the news on AU television. Pause is up next. Dave.
Once again, this African Union Television live on Facebook, YouTube, African Union Television GH. As you know, TikTok, you can follow us. AUTVOnline.com is the radio that you can listen all the updates and all the training news you have to visit. Get yours to read. This morning, my name is DK Williams, therefore Sports Update, which is on a title of Peter Sports, taking you through the Ghana Premier League as well as the Ghana football stories that is turning around. As the folk, Marcia Santoro will be getting there, and the national team, the Black Stars, women national team, and to all the Division 1 clubs across Ghana. Then we'll be taking you through to the foreign scene where we'll be giving you all the updates, fixed checks, which taken on yesterday, the Champions League, as you know, the biggest competition you ever have to watch. And you don't have to mix the matches because it is a bigger competition in the continent. Here are the updates that I'll be giving to you this morning. The local stories take on place. Black Galaxy's head coach Kassim Mengels has announced 20-man squad for friendly match against Bafana of South Africa, which will be a friendly game on December 16, 2025, as South Africa will be preparing towards their AFCON coming in Morocco, and they'll have to play a friendly game, which will be an energetic game before going into the AFCON on Morocco. And this are the 20-man squad Kassim Mengel, head coach for the Black Galaxies, has announced. 2 goalkeepers, Lawrence Osei of Pando Heart of Lion, and then goalkeeper Felix Tay of Mediama. These are 2 players coach Kassim Mengels has announced. And then check off on the defenders, Kamaldeen Mahmoudou of Mediama, Isaac Afu of Samatex 1986, Razak Samson of Nation FC. We have defender Ebenezer Aban of Pando Half of Lion, Ali Muhammad of House of Folk, Samuel Osei Kufo of Nation FC, Abdul Aziz of Sadro All Blacks. Then these are the midfielders, Osei Dogley of Pando House of Lion, and then Nana Kusi Asante of Vision FC, Franks Owusu of Mediama, Salim Adams of Mediama. The forward are Emmanuel Aban of Bechem United, Kelvin Nkrumah of Mediama, Emmanuel Ano of Nation FC, Emmanuel Mafo, Adriana Stars, Abdul Junior Nana Kwesi Mensah of Swadro Oblats, Samuel Atakusi of Go Stars, Sedu Sraj, James FC. These are the 20-man squad called by Kassim Mengel, who will be facing the Bafana of South Africa coming December 16th. And South Africa, this will be their last friendly match before going to the Africa Cup of Nations. Then go to Ghana Olympics Committee, which, remember, we will be going to Angola for a youth competition. And this is the committee which has announced a 17-member counting be taken to the African youth competition that will be going on Angola, Rwanda. And yesterday was the day that they have to depart from Ghana here, moving to Rwanda for that competition. And remember, it is a youth athletes competition. And yesterday, 9th December, was the day Ghana take off from Ghana here to Rwanda, Angola, where the youth games will be taken on. As they released yesterday, that Ghana will be all ready to take part in this competition coming on in Rwanda, Angola. Then, as I've already mentioned, giving you the squad that Kassim Mengel has named for the friendly game against Bafana, Asantoroko players has been left out on this squad going into this competition. And let me remind you that there is a discussion that has went on from Asantoroko players. Some are raising concern that there is an injuries that's in the camp, which results in the absence of the Asantoroko players, absent of the Black Galaxy squad. And per source that we are getting this morning, from my source, tell me that there is a conversation between Kotoko and Kassim Mengel, the head coach for the Black Galaxies, that there was the agreement that Kotoko players should be left out on this squad based on a reason. Like what the players that are supposed to call out to the squad is Patrick Asedu, Kojo Set, Habib Go, and Patrick Amidu. These players were supposed to be the Black Galaxy, but unfortunately, because of the conversation that Kassim Mengel had with Asantoro board members, they were left out for the squad. Then to Accra House of Folk. Recently, performance in that Accra House of Folk has been given to their supporters is very ambitional, and it has yielded a certain conversation raising concern that House of Folk players are not being paid on their salaries. And per source that we having this morning on African Union Television says that the players has not been paid almost 3 months of their salary, and it has been a result for the players escaping like training grounds. Some are not reporting on the training grounds for them to have an exercise, and this has been a very disappointment for Coach Dide Dramani, finding it difficult to unite the boys on my day, and some of the players even demanding contract termination because of the unpaid salary for Accra House of Folk. Then we move to the Women's Premier League, mark the 5 results yesterday. Let's look at the Northern Zone features, which we take on yesterday. FC Savannah take on against Fusu Royal Ladies, where Savannah Ladies beating Fusu Royal by 3 goals to 1. Northern Ladies beating Tamal Super Ladies 2-0. And then Ashton Ladies beating Dreams Ladies by 1 goal to 0. Plus, Ashiba was the goal scorer of that game. Kumasi Sports Academy goalless draw against Northern City Ladies. Ampem Dakwam stayed at home, beating Princess Lady by 5 goals to 2. That was the results in the Northern Zone. Let's look at the Southern Zone results to yesterday as it take on House of Oak Ladies beating Soccer Intellectuals by 2 goals to 0. Victoria Yabua and Amanda Mills, they were the scorers for yesterday game. Azakes Ladies against Army Ladies. Azakes were beating Army Ladies by 1 goal to 0 yesterday. Linda Oko was the goal scorer on that game. Ladies Strikers taking on Alfred Queens, and the Ladies Strikers win that game by 2 goals to 0. Jonina Ladies beating Police Ladies by 1 goal to 0. Agnes Yabua was the goal scorer of that game. Summer Tex Ladies also were home, losing to Empathy Warriors by 2 goals to 0. Jennifer Dawa was the goal scorer, and Jessica Asamoah, they are the ladies who get a goal for African Warriors. And this is the table for the Northern Zone. Ampem Dakuwa is leading the table with 13 points after match day 5, followed by FC Savannah with 10 points, Fusu Royal Ladies 9 points, and Dream FC 9 points. Princess Ladies follow up to 7 points, and to the relegation, you'll be having Nordic Ladies with 4 points, Kumasi Sports Academy 3 points, and then Super Ladies 3 points. That is the Northern Zone table for you for the Women's Premier League, Guinness Women's Premier League. This is the Southern Zone 2 table after match day 5. We have Jonina Ladies leading the table with 13 points after match day 5. Amin Ladies accumulating a points of 12 points. Azakes leading 3rd position with 10 points. Empathy Warriors with 8 points. Police Ladies come with 4th position with 7 points. Oak Ladies as House of Folk Women Football Club with a 5th position with 7 points. The relegation teams are Halflek Queens with 3 points and Soccer Intellectuals after match they find have 0 points. That is the Malta Guinness Women Premier League match day 5 results in the table. Let's quickly look at charges that has been taken over the weekend after match day 10, which is the Ghana Premier League. Ando Heart of Lion head coach Bashiru Kwaku Herford has been charged with a breach of Article 120, Article 12, Clause I of the Ghana Football Disciplinary Code 2019, following a Ghana Premier League game against Nation FC. Follows, a challenge was exhibited on supporting behavior towards a match official during a sad match, and Bashir Herford have until Thursday, 11 December, to report this charge. Another charge too was also going against Mediama FC, which was taking a breach of the Ghana Football Association Disciplinary Code 209 and the Arms Match Day Safety Security protests were taken on which were not supposed to be done so, and they were charged by that. Also, have to Thursday, 11 December, to report this charge on the Ghana Football Association. Kwesi. Coach Otto Addo, in the national team Black Stars head coach, has said the time he was about to appoint for the national team head coach, he has passed through a lot. It was a difficult situation. A thing of it, discard with his family before accepting this deal. And it wasn't easy taking a job for the Black Stars at a full time. And Coach Otto have this to say for our viewers.
In Dortmund as an assistant and also talent coach. So yeah, I discussed it with my wife and my family, what could be the next step. So I was working in Dortmund as an assistant and also talent coach, and I always try to make sure, because also we had situations where I was away from the family in football, sometimes like that, when you get an offer from another place. So like you really can choose where you live, you follow the team which is calling you. You need to finance your family situation. So yeah, sometimes you have to do move away from the family. So I was working in Denmark, for instance, for 1.5 years, and then also in Mönchengladbach for 1 year without my family, and then with me coming once a week. Because it's also sometimes risky for you as a coach to bring your family, and the moment that...
Yes, of course, there is the exit for Black Stars head coach, Coach Otto, before taking over the Black Stars as a full-time job. It wasn't easy. He discussed with the family, but now he's enjoying any moment in the Black Stars. This is a very interesting for Coach Otto. And then let's look at Ibrahim Sani Dara, a media consultant, said onto the Class Folk board member as President Togbe Afede should look on the management side. He's been changing coaches daily and daily, but he thinks Togbe Afede, if he's able to change the management team for the Accra House of Folk, things will turn better. Ibrahim Sani Dara.
For heaven's sake, I'm pleading with His Royal Highness. He has worked with a group of people. It's not worked well. He's changed coaches after coaches. Every time they blame coaches. There's one area that remains intact, and that is management. He should change it. And let's see, perhaps something will change. If persistently you've been changing coaches, how many coaches have Togbe changed since he became the owner of Hearts of Folk? It will number maybe perhaps in more than maybe 20. If the person...
Yes, this is the essence for Ibrahim Sani Dara on House of Folk, on his onset on Accra House of Folk Management. This credit to TV3. They did this interview with Sani Dara and African Union Television. We got it for you. As this reason to the results that sent to House of Folk players, management agents, even demanding termination of contract for their players. It is a big issue for Accra House of Folk. They have to turn things around for things to make successful for House of Folk. Let's run up to the foreign sport for you. As yesterday, we have a very fantastic games take off yesterday at the UEFA Champions League night. We watch on your television, on African Union Television live yesterday. We give you all the details that you know from live commentary position. And then let's look at yesterday futures we take on as the Eurozone 9 today to be continued. We have Gareth Albertine with losing his game against Olympiacos yesterday. Bayern Munich was Allianz Arena beating Sporting CP by 3-1. Hans Ketesi, Ginobre, Jonathan Tah, and the rest have the 3 goals for Bayern Munich. Atlanta were beating Chelsea by 2-1. Joe Pedro was the goal scorer for Chelsea. And then we have Andy Diaz for Atlanta beating 2 goals for their team. Barcelona yesterday have a comeback strategy, beating Eintracht Frankfurt after a marginable 1 goal for the first half. In the second half, Barcelona do the comeback magic for 2 goals. Hans Ketesi, defender Julius Koundé, JK, was the man of the match on that match. Inter Milan were losing his game against Liverpool, the visitors. You never walk alone. Soboslai was the goal scorer. Monaco take on Galatasaray, beating Galatasaray by 1-0. PSV Eindhoven losing 3-2 against Atletico Club de Madrid. Tottenham Hotspur yesterday to have 3 goals against Slavia Prague. Kudus Mohammed yesterday get a goal. Once again, his celebration was back yesterday after that goal. Of course, Yunus and Doris were losing to Olympic de Marseille by 3-2 on the Europa Champions League match day 6. And yesterday, Julius Koundé, after Barcelona against Inter Frankfurt, he was the man of the match after that game. Inter Milan against Liverpool, Ryan Gravenberch was carry out the man of the match after that game. Bayern Munich against Sporting CP, the young talented boy, Laurent L was won the man of the match, which is the MVP. And these are the favorite goal tonight, yesterday that took place. The fans have to vote for Enani Haleni goal that he got yesterday. And then as Anga Kanaf, his goal that he got against Barcelona, also nominated. Julius Koundé 2 goals that he had against Inter Frankfurt, also nominated. Mason Greenwood goal that he got yesterday. 2 goals. So these are the goals nominated that should be voted who is going to win the goal of the day. Today the games continues as we'll be having a very exciting game today where we'll be having Villarreal will be taking on Copenhagen, Karabakh will be taking Ajax, Atletico Club de Bilbao will be hosting Paris Saint-Germain 8 o'clock p.m. Borussia Dortmund against Bodo Glimt, Benfica will be taking on against Napoli, and then Club Brugge will be hosting Arsenal. We move on to Juventus, the old ladies of Turin will be hosting Pavos on that game tonight. Leverkusen will be taking on Newcastle United, and then the big game at the Santiago Bernabeu, which is Real Madrid, will be taking on Manchester City. As quickly we look on yesterday after the results, Chelsea coach Enzo Maresca have this to say. He was very frustrated after losing to Atlanta yesterday. And Coach Enzo Maresca defended his lineup that he used against Arsenal, against Barcelona. He said he got to a little bit of changes, and he thinks it is not a problem of his first lineup losing to Atlanta. Enzo Maresca.
Inside the pitch, 8-9 players that they play against Tottenham, they play against Barcelona, they play against Wolves, they play against Barcelona too, Arsenal. I mean, we had 8-9 players that they are the ones that they are playing every time these kind of games. So if you see the 5 changes that we did compared to Bournemouth is different. But if you see that inside the pitch, we had 8-9 players that they are the same that they are playing Barcelona, Arsenal, Tottenham, Wolves, you know, these kind of games. I didn't think we...
This is Enzo Maresca works after the defeat against Atlanta. He is not worried about the starting lineup, and the problem is not his starting lineup losing to Atlanta. That's Enzo Maresca for you. And today we'll be having a big game which will be taken on at the Santiago legendary Bernabeu. The Black Horse will be taking Manchester City, the Blues. Coach Xabi Alonso have this to do. If not, he will be sacked. According to reports from Madrid, Xabi Alonso facing Manchester City. If there is no any surprise results today, he'll be sacked and will be replacing. We are having a coaches, Jurgen Klopp and then Zinedine Zidane, former coach for the Real Madrid, will be coming on for him after the exit. Then Xabi Alonso said he's ready, prepared. He knows the culture of Real Madrid and the circumstances, the pressure, the culture of Real Madrid. The boys are ready mentally to face Manchester. Xavi.
The next one is the best one, so you need to face it, and not just myself. I think that the players and the fans, everyone knows because they have faced against City so many times for the last years. We are what we are expecting, but for sure it's a big challenge. But I see as an opportunity at the moment. It's not about changing; it's about adapting because I knew pretty well the culture of Real Madrid. That's why it's the biggest club in the world, and you need to adapt it. You need to learn from it.
Xavi Alonso for you, Real Madrid coach facing Manchester City tonight. Big day. Madrid has beaten Man City. Man City 2 used to beat Real Madrid. So today is a big task. Such much the pressure on Xavi Alonso to turn things around on this game. If not, he will be sacked. Then he moved on saying that everything is short. He knows the conversation that he has with the players. And he's ready that the boys will do very well because yesterday in the training ground, Thibaut Courtois was on top. And unfortunately, we have certain players that yesterday did not train. If MCR would give me yesterday training that take on for the Real Madrid facility, we have Vinicius Jr. was very ready, energetic, Jude Bellingham, Adegula, the rest you can name. But Theo Helsen is out of this game. Donald Camavinga is also out. There is a doubt for Kylian Mbappe tonight game. It's a doubt because yesterday we did not see Donald Camavinga and Mbappe on training grounds before today. So it's a doubt that Mbappe will be missing this game due to a certain sleepy injury that Kylian Mbappe is having. And let's wait to see either Real Madrid will start again as Man City with that Mbappe. How are things going to change this? And it will be given an opportunity to for Hendrik to start his first game for Real Madrid Football Club. And yesterday too, we'll be having Clement Turpin, the center referee today, who will be standing as center to signal these both teams, Real Madrid and then Manchester City. Take you back, he was the center referee, Real Madrid, City beating Real Madrid 3-2 at Etihad Sports Stadium last season. Remember, he is the same referee today who will be standing in the center to signal these both teams together. And yesterday, Manchester City have a very hard training where we saw Erling Haaland was very energetic and ready. If MCR will give me the training that took on yesterday for Manchester City, Pep Guardiola and his boys, you can see the reactions and the happiness on grounds that Manchester City are ready for today's game. It's not easy task because Manchester City are on form. Erling Haaland is on top. So Manchester City confirmed by Pep Guardiola that John Stone will be out of this game facing Real Madrid today, but all the players are ready to face Real Madrid. And we'll be moving to Newcastle United. MCR gave me yesterday as we missed John Wisa after signing from Newcastle United. We have not seen John Wisa playing for Newcastle United. But yesterday, good news and a boost from Newcastle United as yesterday we saw John Wisa training with Newcastle United. If the NCR will get a training, we saw him coming on the floor to dominate. So today, we'll be ready to meet the opponents he'll be taking. Quickly giving me Arsenal to ready for today's game. I will be hosting at away. Arsenal are ready to take on this game today. And as you know, the Europa Champions League night is fully packed. Yesterday, MLS, Lionel Messi, MCR, let's go. Messi won a MLS MVP this season, the most valuable player of this season. Back to back, 2 times, Lionel Andre Messi Cucitini. And it was presented by the U16 Academy for Inter Miami captain Nash Diame, who presented that MLS award to Lionel Messi. There will be a break in the FIFA World Cup for a minute to take a break and have some drinks, water before the games will start in every game because the weather condition is very hot. There is more to give you, but because of time, if NCR will give me the last story, which I gave to you, the FIFA Club World Cup According to report, FIFA has recognized the Intercontinental Cup winner will be remain as champions back in the 1960s. Those who won it has been the champions of the world. That's why the recently tournament they introduced that Club World Cup starting last year as Chelsea won it. Chelsea remain top in the continent, but still this tournament too recognize. If you won it, you are champion of the world. More stories were there to give you by the time factor. DK Wins is my name. I hope you enjoy it. Let's see you tomorrow as we prepare today for morning show up next. Bye.